The following is a production of WCMP Sports. It's time for high school basketball action here on WCMP. Tonight we'll see the Pine City Dragons getting set to battle the Ogilvie Lions. Tip-off is coming up shortly, but now we send it to the court for the pregame. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's broadcast of high school basketball here on WCMP. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman, and I'll be bringing you the action from tonight's broadcast here at Pine City High School between the Ogilvie Lions and the Pine City Dragons. The Pine City Dragons looking for a conference victory here this evening against the Ogilvie Lions, and it should be a good one here between these two teams. This is not a section matchup, as the Ogilvie Lions do play in Section 5 Single A, while the Pine City Dragons play in Section 6 Double A. So it's not a section matchup, but it is a conference matchup. And this should be a fun one here between these two teams. You've got the Pine City Dragons, who have had a tough stretch to start the season. It has been a tough one here so far for the Pine City Dragons, but it has been fun nonetheless to be a part of that journey so far. And I'm excited to get started with this one. It looks like it's going to be another good one here this evening between these two teams, as the Pine City Dragons again getting set to take on the Ogilvie Lions at home. It's a good atmosphere here tonight. Looks like we're going to have a packed house between these two teams. You've got the Ogilvie Lions, who are, of course, head coached by Sam Weaver. The Pine City Dragons, head coached by Kyle Allen. I had a chance to interview Sam Weaver at the beginning of the season, and I enjoy interviewing the head coaches who are head coaches of these teams. I couldn't figure out the word I was looking for. But, it was an incredible interview. I'm so happy to have been able to do that interview with Sam Weaver, and of course I did one with Kyle Allen as well. But these two teams going at it here tonight, and we'll take a look at these two teams as they come into tonight. Of course, as I mentioned, the Ogilvie Lions play in Section 5 Single A East. There is an East and West to Section 5A, so two sections in one, and they split it into two because it is a pretty big section. If they didn't split it into two, it'd be about 25-30 teams, close to. So they split it up into two. 5A East consists of a lot of our local teams, actually. East Central, Bram, Ogilvie, and Mille Lacs sit in Section 5A East. But we're looking at Ogilvie here tonight, and they sit at 2-5 on the season, 1-2 in the section. They give up about 65 points per game, score just under 50. And as we take a look at their schedule, 1-2 in the conference as well, I should mention. Their one win in the conference came over Mille Lacs. That was their third game of the year. Then they did win in a tournament just before Christmas break over New York Mills. But they, again, looking at their schedule, it has been a tough one here for the Ogilvie Lions. They started out the season against Rush City and then Mille Lacs. Then after they win, they had to play Pine River Bacchus. They also played Fond du Lac Ojibwe, who is a pretty darn good team in their own right. And then during Christmas break on Wednesday the 28th, they played against Bram in Bram, and that was a loss as well. So, according to MinnesotaScores.net, it's been a while since the Ogilvie Lions have played. It has been since December 28th that the Ogilvie Lions boys basketball team has played a game. Now, if I do remember right, I do believe that they have played a game since then. I don't think that's quite updated. I could be wrong. There's a lot of times that I am wrong, but I do believe that they have played since then. We'll go and look at Minnesota Boys Basketball Hub and take a look at their game schedule. 2-5, and no, it did. I'm wrong. It doesn't look like they have played since then. So it's been a while for the Ogilvie Lions, and you can imagine that they are excited to be back out here tonight, to be back on the court and get out and play against a conference opponent, no less. So you've got about 3 weeks in between the time you've played last, and then you come back against a conference opponent, and you bet that they are quite excited to be back out here on the court and playing some basketball. Again, it's been some time for the Ogilvie Lions, and a lot of times, people might look at that and go, "Oh, that's not good for a team to sit and not play that long." Well, I beg to differ. I think sometimes that stretch of time off can be sometimes helpful. I won't say that it is all the time, because certainly it might not work in your favor all the time, but I think sometimes it can be, because sometimes you get that time off and you just get to sit and game plan for the team you're going to face coming out of the last time you played. So, and I think that's what Ogilvie has been able to do since the last time they played. They know, hey, our next game is against Pine City, and we don't play until then. So let's go out, let's scout them. And kind of the fun thing about being around this area and these local teams is they're able to come out and go to these other games. So, like, for Pine City, they've had plenty of home games and even some close ones. They could have just had their head coach and some players come here to look at their team and see what they do and say, all right, hey, we know what they like to do. We've watched a couple of their games, and now we know what to do in practice to game plan for that. So I think that's kind of a fun thing that they are able to do. I know that head coach Kyle Allen has talked about that before, and how his team has done that for teams, especially going into the playoffs, where they have had some time off in between playoffs, and they'll go watch their opponent play their last couple of games during the regular season to kind of scout them. And I think that's just an awesome thing that teams are able to do, especially around this local listening area, to go and be able to scout teams and kind of look at what they need to do to beat a team. Of course, the Ogilvie Lions will have their hands full here tonight, as the Pine City Dragons just came off a loss there on Tuesday to the Foley Falcons, and that was a close one throughout. Now, Pine City did have 2 10-point leads in that game, but we got to give credit where it's due and give Foley credit, because they came back in that game and took the lead over and never looked back from there. So they came away with a 2-point victory, 65-63. And I want to again give credit to the Pine City Dragons, because in a game like that, when you just can't help the momentum to go the other way, when you can't stop it, it is so hard to continue to play, because a lot of times I feel like they're just not necessarily hanging their heads, but it's so hard to come back from that, because, well, the momentum is just not going your way. There's nothing you can seemingly do to stop it. But they did a good job. They never hung their heads. They continued to fight until that very last buzzer. But unfortunately, they came up 2 points short. As we look at the Pine City Dragons, like I mentioned, 2 points short there on Tuesday. They're 3-5, 1-1 in the section. Their one loss came against Foley. Their win came against Rush City. And they're coming off back-to-back losses against Chisago Lakes and Foley after beating Rush City last Thursday. This will not be the final game for them this week. They will go up to Duluth-Denfeld tomorrow night to play a 3A school in the Duluth-Denfeld Hunters, so that should be a fun one for Pine City as well. But tonight, they get to host the Ogilvie Lions, and again, they had a 3-game losing streak to start the season. Then they came out and won the next 3, but they have lost 2 since. And looking at this Section 6 AA, whether it's girls or boys playing, it is just it's a stacked section. It's almost unfair for some of the teams, and because it is such a stacked section. I mean, it doesn't matter what place you're at in the section, whether you're at the bottom and maybe haven't won a game yet, or maybe you're at the top and haven't lost a game yet. It really doesn't matter in this section, because any of these teams on any given day can beat you, and that is so true in this section. So Pine City looking to go out of the section for a couple of games and come and win this one here tonight over a conference opponent in the Great River Conference. I, of course, Ethan Game Day Gilman. I'll be bringing you the action from tonight's game here inside Pine City High School. I want to welcome you all in, and thanks so much for joining. Of course, I want to thank all of our fine sponsors who sponsored this broadcast. Can't do it without them, so if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to come out here and call this game if it weren't for our fine sponsors. Don't forget, after the game, we will have an interview with our A&W player of the game, as well as head coach Kyle Allen. That comes post-game, so we've got 2 halves to wait, but that will come up at post-game, and of course that will have our A&W player of the game. We've got about a minute and a half, just under a minute and a half left here in pre-game warm-ups, and we'll take a commercial break here. We're from our fine sponsors, and then when we come back, we'll be set for tip-off here inside Pine City High School, where the Lions and Dragons get set to face off in this Great River Conference matchup. Again, Ethan Game Day Gilman, you're listening to this game on 100.9 FM, WCMP.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings, with expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas. When you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank & Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/getThere. Franzen Bank & Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back here on 100.9 FM, WCMP, as we get set to take a look at your starting lineups here for the Ogilvie Lions, who are head coached by Sam Weaver. It'll be number 0 for them, junior Tucker Kenyon. Then another junior, number 1, Hunter Kenyon. I believe they're brothers and twins, if I remember correctly. And then it will be number 4, junior Nathan Hagel. Number 13, junior Cole Hergis. And number 35, sophomore Hunter Rappel. I apologize, Rappel. That is Rappel. Then on the other side for your Pine City Dragons, who are head coached by Kyle Allen, wearing their green home jerseys, it'll be number 14, senior Isaiah Haas. Number 23, senior Luke Wilson. Number 24, senior Lamont Sidney. Number 31 and senior Mason Charles, and of course number 32, senior Riley Cummings. This game being played inside the Great River Conference, and 18 minutes are about to be up on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Just getting our final starter announced. And when the 18 minutes go up on that scoreboard, it will be Embrace Orthodontics. Embrace Orthodontics, custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. EmbraceMN.com. Dragons and Lions just about set to do battle. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. You're listening to this game on 100.9 FM. Or maybe on our YouTube via our website at WCMPradio.com. If you're listening or watching on our YouTube, I should say, make sure to like and subscribe. That way you're notified anytime we go live with a local sporting event on our channel. It'll be Riley Cummings and Hunter Rappel out at center court, who will go at tip-off. inside Pine City High School. I think my last few games have been here at Pine City High School, between here and Rush City. Like next week I go a couple other places. But we're just about set to get underway here. Pretty packed house here in Pine City, but between Ogilvie and Pine City. There's the whistle. There's the toss-up, and tip-off is won by Pine City, and it'll be Luke Wilson who takes it up the court, gives it off on the far side to Isaiah Haas. Now on the far side corner to Lamont Sidney for three. It's just off the mark. Mason Charles trying to get the rebound, but the rebound going to be picked up there by Hunter Kenyon. He'll take it up the court. He wants to go far side. He's directing traffic. I think he's looking for Tucker Kenyon. Instead, he'll give it off here to Hagel, and he loses possession, but gets it back right before the boundary, and now he gives it off here to Tucker Kenyon. Kenyon in the near side corner gives it off to Hagel. I think that pass might have been tipped, and now it gets to Hergis. Hergis bounce pass here to Rappel. Rappel, he was wide open for three. Not going to take that shot. Instead, he'll wait. He's guarded by Riley Cummings. Wanted to go inside. His teammate Tucker Kenyon wasn't looking, but he managed, I don't know how, to come down with it, but Hunter Kenyon will put up the shot, and then his shot was not rebounded by the Dragons. In fact, it went off of Mason Charles out of bounds, so it will stay with the Lions. And we'll get another go at it. I apologize. You can already tell I'm going to be switching up Hunter and Tucker, so I apologize. Hunter's number 1, Tucker's number 0, as Tucker has it now on the far side elbow. He's looking to drive inside and taking it to the basket. Oh, unkind roll there for Tucker Kenyon. Lamont Sidney gets the rebound. He's quick up the court, getting through traffic, puts up a shot. It's no good, and Hunter Kenyon is going to come down with the rebound. Hunter Kenyon on the near side, stops for just a moment. He's guarded by Luke Wilson. He takes it, hands it off to Tucker Kenyon. There, I did it again. And now we get a travel call on Tucker Kenyon before his pass got to Nathan Hagel. And it will go back to the Dragons. 16:48 to go. No score here in this one in the first half. Just under a minute and a half off the clock on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Cummings will inbound here to Luke Wilson. We've seen a couple times this year where the Dragons kind of, I don't want to say struggled to get going, but they just got off to a little bit of a slow start, and then they got things going after that. So, especially coming off the loss, I know they're just yearning to get off to a hot start. And Lamont Sidney gets the pass down inside, but he is fouled as he goes up for the shot, and he'll go to line and shoot two. First foul going to go against Ogilvie. I believe that's Hunter Kenyon, I think they called it on. No, they called it on Hagel. Sidney is good on his first, so there is the first point of the game with just under or over a minute and a half off the clock. And Sidney good on both. Makes first two, and it's 2-0 in favor of Pine City. They're going to double team Hunter Kenyon, but then the pass is taken away by Lamont Sidney. Ball still up for grabs, and now putting it up and in for two is and Lamont Sidney again with a steal. It's his own rebound, and shot is up and no good. On with another steal, and that shot was up and made by Riley Cummings on the last one. Then it looks like we're going to get a foul here on Riley Cummings. That'll be his first and the team's first. Lamont Sidney, as I mentioned before, I mentioned it in games before, but he is just so quick on the court, and his defense is just outstanding, and he gets another steal. Lamont Sidney, his third steal, but he misses the shot. Misses the shot, and it's going to be rebounded here by Cole Hergis. He'll give it off now to Hunter Kenyon, and looks like we're going to get a foul, I believe. Timeout? Oh, no. Did he just call a tech foul? He did. Oh, they called a technical foul on Lamont Sidney. I didn't see it. Sidney plays tough out there and getting called for a foul. A tech foul nonetheless. I did not see the foul happen. That was strange. No good on the second from Hunter Kenyon. And with the tech foul, Ogilvie is going to keep the ball after the free throws anyway. So 4-1 is the score. Hunter Kenyon gets one of two free throws, and now he'll get it on the inbound pass and trying to get it to Hergis, and he's fouled by Lamont Sidney. Lamont Sidney, he plays so tough down in the paint against anybody. And his aggressive defense sometimes comes back to bite him, and it did that time as he went for the swat, but unfortunately swatted Herges' hand. Herges' shot is up and no good off the back of the rim. Luke Wilson just tying a shoe. They're going to give him a moment. Now the shooter at Herges will have one left. It's 4-1, just under 16 minutes in the first half. And he corrects his form and gets that one to fall. And it's 4-2 now, and quickly up the court goes Luke Wilson. Man, he was like a shot of lightning. I didn't even see him. Now gives it off to Mason Charles. Now to Luke Wilson. A long three. That's off the mark. And Lamont Sidney could not come down with the rebound. I didn't quite see who got that rebound. I think it's Tucker Kenyon. And now the shot by Rappel is up and no good. And his shot was rebounded by Hagel. And his shot is no good and rebounded by the Dragons. And then it's Luke Wilson who takes it up the court on the far side, and he gets fouled. Not sure who that foul was on. It was on 35. That's Rappel. So Pine City will inbound it. Luke Wilson gets it off to Mason Charles, top of the key, going to the far side corner to Isaiah Haas. Now back to Charles. Pretty good defense so far by the Ogilvie Lions, and Pine City having a hard time moving around them. Now getting into the near side corner for Lamont Sidney for three. It's just off the mark. But Riley Cummings comes down with the rebound, puts it back up and in for two. 6-2 is the lead now for Pine City. Quickly up the court. Tucker Kenyon gets the pass. He loses the ball. The ball's on the ground. Lamont Sidney will come up with his fourth steal of the game. Quickly to Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson falling backwards, puts up a shot towards the basket. It's no good. And Isaiah Haas, no, he did not. It's going to be Hunter Kenyon who comes down with the rebound for Ogilvie. Kenyon will take it up the court here on the near side. Jogs his way up past half court. It's poked out and stolen away by Luke Wilson. And he'll go up and in for two. An easy two there for Luke Wilson off the steal. Under 14.5 to go. The Dragons lead 8-2. Already 5 steals for the Dragons. Quickly up the court. They go to Herges. Now over to Tucker Kenyon for three. That's off the mark. It bounces all the way back to Herges for the rebound. And now at the net, getting it to fall in for two is Rappel. That'll make it 8-4. 14 minutes to go here in the first half. Luke Wilson passes it off to Mason Charles on the far side. Charles pauses. Lob pass over to Wilson. A smart pass as well. Gets it to Lamont Sidney. They're trying to get him going. He's just missed a couple here to begin this game. Oh, and there's the whistle. It's a late whistle, but that is the correct call. Foul going to be on Ogilvie. Riley Cummings was trying to bring down that pass, but he was bumped from behind. And that will be on the Ogilvie Lions. Number 13, Herges. That'll be his first, team's third. Get a couple substitutions. Charlie Osmus and Aiden Austinson check into the game for Lamont Sidney and Mason Charles. Inbound here goes to Austinson. Austinson gets it into Isaiah Haas on the near side corner. He wanted to go back to Wilson. Instead, he takes the shot from three. That's up and no good. And coming out of nowhere was Austinson to try and get the rebound, but Riley Cummings comes up with it. And then the pass is stolen away by Hunter Kenyon. He'll take it up the court, but it's stolen right back by Luke Wilson. He goes flying to the net, in for two. Wow. Turnovers in this one have been a huge part of this game so far. And both of these coaches obviously going to want that to be cleaned up. Back and forth passing between Tucker and Hunter Kenyon. And now gets it off to Hunter Kenyon. Hunter drives inside, just inside the free throw line, puts up the shot. It's no good. And it's rebounded for a moment by Charlie Osmus. And then we're going to get a jump ball call, and the possession arrow favors the Lions. So they will get it back. So they catch a break there as they didn't get the rebound, but they'll get the ball anyways. And it will be Nathan Hagel who will get set to inbound. He inbounds it here to Hunter Kenyon. Over to Tucker. Now in the far side corner to Herges. Herges is going to drive inside on Aiden Austinson. His shot is up. I think it might have been partially blocked, but it's no good. And it's Hunter Kenyon who came down with the rebound out on the near side corner for three. That's off the mark from Hagel. And no one can come up with the rebound. It's going to go out of bounds. And last touch by the Dragons, apparently. I thought it was an Ogilvie Lion who touched it last, but my eyes deceived me. It was a Dragon who touched it last, and the Lions will get to do it again. In the near side corner to Herges for three. That's nearly in. Unkind roll. And who are you going to give that to? I think it was Rappel who tapped it up and in. Wow. Didn't get the rebound, just slapped it back in through the net. What a shot there by Rappel. It wasn't necessarily a shot, he just slapped it in. 12:35 to go, back and forth passing for the Dragons, and now over to Aiden Austinson on the near side elbow. He wanted to go back to Luke Wilson. He does on the far side elbow. Inside are Cummings. Now over to Charlie Osmus for three. The shot is up and no good. Cummings could not come down with the rebound, and instead he will be called for the foul. So Riley Cummings gets his second, team's fourth. 10-6, the Dragon lead with 12:23 to go here in the first half. Hunter Kenyon gives it off to Tucker, back to Hunter, back to Tucker. And I'm sure they'll have that game plan throughout this game. Hunter, back to Tucker, back to Hunter. I'm sure we'll see that quite often tonight. That's kind of what they like to do, to kind of try and open up a shot, and that one nearly over the head of Tucker. He comes down with it. Herges nearly had it stolen away, but it's going to go off of a Lion. Oh, wow. That's interesting. I thought it might have been off a Dragon. Full four, it looks like. It looks like, checking in for the first time, those Ashton Seals and Nick Plajek. Aiden Austinson, as well as Monsini back out there. Monsini goes through some traffic and puts it up and in for two. The Euro step gets around a defender, and he makes it 12-6, 11:40 to go. Hunter and Tucker passing back and forth between each other. Tucker comes down with it, back to Hunter. That one was nearly stolen away as that one lobbed up just a little too long. Hunter back to Tucker. Now to Herges in the far side corner. And he tried to pass it away. Gives it off to Hunter, and he brings it down. Shot is up and no good from three. And Nick Plajek will come down with the rebound for Pine City. Aiden Austinson takes it up the court behind the back dribble. He loses the ball. It's stolen away here by Hunter Kenyon, who gives it off to Tucker. And then he loses the ball, and it will go out of bounds, and it will go back to Pine City. So the Dragons catch a break there on that one, as it was stolen away by Hunter Kenyon. But he could not, as he passed it off to Tucker Kenyon, he could not hold on. It goes out of bounds. Pine City has it back. Aiden Austinson on the far side. Bounce pass to Mason Charles. Back to Austinson. Austinson lobs it over to Seals. Seals waits at the top of the key. Dribbles and then stops. Gives it off to Austinson. Now back on the far side. He wants to go back to Seals. He does. Just inside to Charles. Now over to Ashton Seals, who nearly lost it as it went towards that boundary line. Seals, nice dribble to get around the defender. Off to Austinson. Now to Lamont Sidney on the far side corner for three. It's going to come up short. And you get a foul call here on Pine City on Nick Plajek. That's his first and the team's fifth. So the fouls, a little bit troublesome here for the Dragons early on. It's Hunter and Tucker who will pass it back and forth between themselves. And that pass went over the head of Rappel, but somehow Hagel came down with it. Nice passing here by the Ogilvie Lions. They go inside to Rappel. Rappel, he turns around, puts up a shot off the backboard. No good. It's rebounded here by Mason Charles. He's going to take it up the court. It rolls on the court, and he tried to give it off, but it is stolen right back by Tucker Kenyon. Tucker Kenyon guarded well by Nick Plajek. He pauses, gives it off now to Herges. Herges gives it, nearly stolen away there by Ashton Seals. Instead, the pass does get to Hunter Kenyon, now to Tucker Kenyon. He puts up, gives it off to Rappel. Rappel lets the defender go by, puts it up off the backboard, and in for two, 12-8. The Ogilvie Lions right now not going away. It's 12-8. Dragons still lead, but my goodness, the Ogilvie Lions giving it everything they can handle to the Dragons, and this one is poked out from Ashton Seals, nearly stolen by Hunter Kenyon. In fact, he did steal it, but Ashton Seals got it right back, and then Mason Charles waits for the defenders go by and puts it up and in for two. He had two defenders bearing down on him. He just waited for them to jump past, and then he put up the shot, an easy two. 9:35 to go. 14-8 is the score. Hunter and Tucker will pass between themselves once again. Gets it down to Herges now in the far side corner. Now back to Hunter. Hunter on the near side elbow. Back to Tucker on the far side. And he'll go right back to Hunter. Hunter will pull up from three. That's no good. And another foul here on Pine City. Oh, boy. Was on one of the 30s. They didn't. Oh, they're going to get that on. Well, there's no three out there. I'm guessing they mean 33. Nick Plajek. Yeah, it's got to be Nick Plajek. Nick Plajek with his second. They now have 6 team fouls. 14-8 is the score. They go and pass it over to Hagel, to the Lions, and now Hunter Kenyon for 3. It's no good. Aiden Ostenson comes down with his first rebound, and he'll take it up the court, driving right up the center. He passes it off to Lamont Sidney, who passes it into the near side corner to Ashton Seals. Seals will try and work it to the top of the key, and it's stolen away once again, and that's got to be a travel. No, they're going to call Ashton Seals for a foul. Oh, my goodness. Hunter Kenyon, by the way, with another steal. And then we get another foul here on Pine City. The whistles, in my opinion, have been a little bit too quick. I think you got to let him play a little bit. Luke Wilson and Charlie Osmus will check back in for Ashton Seals and Aiden Ostenson, as the Lions will be in a 1-and-1 situation now, as Hunter Kenyon is at the line to shoot the 1-and-1. He has 1 point on the evening, 14-8. His team trails with 8:52 to go. Hunter Kenyon's shot is up and good to make it 14-9. Hunter Kenyon's second one is up and good as well. He makes 2 of 2, and it will make it 14-10. And just under the halfway point here in this game, and the Ogilvie Lions take a timeout here on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, Dr. Sievers is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. They're also helping you find a smile you will embrace forever. You can find out more at embracemn.com. First half has moved on pretty quickly, but this Pine City team has struggled to get on the ball. They also struggled kind of to hold on to the ball here in this first half. It has been tough. The turnovers, there has been a plethora of them here in the first half, and so far for the Ogilvie Lions, it's been their starting 5 out there the entire first half of the first half. That was weird for me to say. I'm sure it was weird for you to hear that, but it was even weirder for me to say first half. Anyways, they haven't made a substitution yet. Their starting 5 has been out there this entire time. That just speaks to the conditioning of this Ogilvie Lions team. And trying to see if it will be any different coming out of the timeout, and it won't be. Starting 5 still out there for the Ogilvie Lions. Wow. That is impressive. Give credit to this Lions team. No substitutions yet, and it's been the same 5 guys. Meanwhile, Luke Wilson would get the inbound from Lamont Sidney. He takes it up on the near side of the court. He's going to be double-teamed by Hunter and Tucker, and he's using those ball-handling skills to get around the defense. He gives it off to Charlie Osmus, who wants to go inside. He pauses, gives it off across the court to Luke Wilson on the far side. Wilson bounce pass to Charlie Osmus, and that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Ogilvie Lions. That was close, as head coach Sam Weaver said, it's our ball, but not quite. It almost was touched by Mason Charles, but he pulled his hand back just in time. So the Dragons will hold on to it. They lead 14-10, 8:32 to go. And Lamont Sidney will inbound here to Mason Charles. Charles will go to top of the key to Luke Wilson. He wanted to pass inside right away to Sidney, but not a chance there. And Wilson uses his ball handling skills to get it to Charles. Now back to Wilson for 3. That's no good. And an easy rebound there for Herges. And quickly up the court go the Lions. It's Hunter Kenyon. And it's stolen away here by Luke Wilson. His third steal, and he puts it up. And good! The shot is through, plus the and 1. I believe it's going to be Nathan Hagel with the foul for Ogilvie, which is his second. Team's 4th. 16-10, the Dragons lead. And Luke Wilson will look for the and 1 opportunity. 16-10 is the lead, and we get a timeout called on the court here by Pine City, I believe. It is Pine City who calls the timeout. Again, it's been back and forth here in this one. Pine City early on looked like they were going to kind of cruise through this one, as it just looked like they were just a step ahead, a step or two ahead of Ogilvie on the court. But give Ogilvie a ton of credit. They have just come out and refused to back down. And this, again, it has been their same starting 5 out there since the game has started. They have not substituted anyone at all. So that is another big talking point as well here for Ogilvie. They do have a smaller squad, but man, to have your starting 5 not come out of the game yet. That's impressive. Dragons do have a 16-10 lead. And the timeout is over. Both teams will work back to the court. And again, it will be Luke Wilson at the line to shoot the and one for the possible three-point play. He got the steal and the shot to fall, and we'll see if he gets this three-point play. He does. Three-point play is completed. 17-10, the Dragons lead with 8:05 to go here in the first half. Hunter and Tucker, again, back and forth between themselves. We do, for the first time here tonight, have a substitution for Ogilvie. It's number 3, Xander Kimball, a freshman, but this one's stolen away by Luke Wilson. Again, it was poked out by Hunter Kenyon, but he is going to be called for the foul. And that'll be his first, team's 5th. So Luke Wilson will go to the line and shoot 2. Meanwhile, again, Xander Kimball in for the Lions. As the first free throw is up and good from Luke Wilson. Make it 18-10, 7:52 to go. And does not get the kind roll. So he makes 1 of 2, and the rebound comes down in the hands of Hunter Kenyon. He leads them in rebounds so far with 5. Gives off to Tucker Kenyon on the far side, waiting for someone to come out open, and passes it to Cole Hergis. Hergis, top of the key. Now bounce pass to Rappel. Rappel, far side elbow. Guarded by Nick Plajek, and he's going to drive inside. He puts up a shot, and that one doesn't fall. He's been kind of getting those floors to fall here tonight, but that one does not. Luke Wilson will go up the court. With the rebound, he gets fouled. It's going to be on Tucker Kenyon, his first, and now the team's 6th. So Tucker Kenyon with his first foul, and the Dragons will get set to inbound here in their backcourt with 7:26 to go. 18-10, they lead on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Luke Wilson passes it off here to Charlie Osmus, inside to Lamont Sidney. He's going to try and go inside, works through hands, puts it up and in, plus the and one. Lamont Sidney, he has such a strong grip on the ball that even though he goes through traffic like that, it is so hard for anybody on the defense to try and swat that ball out. That'll be the 7th team foul and the 2nd on Cole Hergis. Sidney's and one opportunity is through, so the three-point play is complete, 21-10. As we get a substitution, as Nathan Hagel will check in for Cole Hergis. That's what the buzzer was for out there. Both teams have 17 fouls, and Pine City had fouls working against them kind of midway through this one. Then all of a sudden they were able to correct it, and now the foul's kind of leaning on Ogilvie, and the 3 there from Tucker Kenyon is no good. It's Lamont Sidney who comes down with the rebound. He'll take it up the court on the far side. Going to drive through traffic. Lost his dribble. Excuse me. And it's stolen away by Kimball. Now with it is Hunter Kenyon. He works inside, backs his way inside. Shot is up and no good. And that ball is definitely off of Kenyon, and that should be Dragon ball. That is, that's Dragon ball all day. But the Lions have it, so you catch a break. Hey, again, sometimes if you can get the ref to not see something and get it to work for your team, all the more power to you. Meanwhile, the Lions have it. Kimball will pass all the way across court to Tucker Kenyon. Now to Rappel. His shot is up and no good. Lamont Sidney goes over everybody to get that rebound. He's going to try and drive inside. He lost the ball again, but going to get a foul on the Lions. It's going to go against Kimball for the Lions' 8th, and he, being Lamont Sidney, will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. His team leads 21-10 with 6:23 to go. And gets the kind roll off the back of the rim as it goes through to make it 22-10. Monsignor will get the ball, and shot is up. And another kind roll off the front of the rim this time, but he makes them both, and that's what matters. 23-10 is the lead here for Pine City. 6:18 to go, and even though they're up by 13, this doesn't feel big enough for the Lions to overcome. Meanwhile, Mason Charles gets the steal, gives it off to Charlie Osmus. A high floating shot that is no good, and rebounded here by Rappel. And now taking it up the court was Hunter Kenyon. And now they're going to get Pine City for another one. That's going to go against Luke Wilson for his first and the team's 8th. And Hunter Kenyon will go to line to shoot a 1-and-1. Couple substitutions. Luke Wilson, Charlie Ossus, Mason Charles, and Nick Plajek will come off the court. Ashton Seals, Isaiah Haas, Aiden Austinson, as well as Lamont Sidney will come off. Was that a full 5? It was a full 5, as Riley Cummings is in as well. So a full 5 for the Dragons there, as Hunter Kenyon is at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Again, this lead does not feel insurmountable for the Lions as Hunter Kenyon converts that one to make it 23-11. And he'll make both. They've been pretty good from the free throw line here tonight. Have missed a couple, but other than that, they've been pretty good. Zay Haas will inbound it to Aiden Austinson, and Austinson will work it over to Ashton Seals, top of the key, and give it off to Riley Cummings. Now back to Ashton Seals. Seals wants to go across court and looking into the near side corner and nearly lost it. He gets it back, gives it off to Haas. Haas goes inside to Charlie Osmus, who puts it up and in for 2. And that was the only thing that the Dragons could have asked for there, as Ashton Seals nearly had that one stolen away. Probably should have been stolen away. Somehow got it back, and then the defense started to swarm him. Well, that opened up underneath the basket for Charlie Osmus to go and get an easy 2. 25-12 with under 5.5 to go here in the first half. Dragons lead. Going inside now for Tucker Kenyon, and Tucker Kenyon dribbled it, and as he did, it went out of bounds. Tried to swat it back in before the referee noticed. I like the effort, but unfortunately the referee did catch it in time. So the ball will go back to the Dragons, as that ball was swatted going to Charlie Osmus, but somehow brought it down. Now to Ashton Seals on the near side. Bounce pass, stolen away, and an easy steal there for Kimball. That's his second. And Kimball will get off now to Hunter Kenyon. Hunter Kenyon spins inside, puts up a shot. No good. Roll is unkind, and rebound taken there by Aiden Austinson. And he'll take it, give it off here to Ashton Seals, whose shot is up and no good. And then I think that was Charlie Osmus who got the rebound. It was. And he will go to line to shoot a 1-and-1. So a shot from Ashton Seals was no good, but Charlie Osmus, being a great teammate, was there to get the rebound, and his shot was no good, but he was fouled, and he gets to have an opportunity at a 1-and-1 with 4:46 to go. His team leads 25-12. And the shot is through from Charlie Osmus. Second one is up and through as well, so Charlie Osmus makes both to make it 27-12 in favor of the Dragons. 4:40 to go. Again, Hunter and Tucker pass between themselves, and now it's Tucker who has it, gives it off to Hunter. Hunter will pull up from 3. That's off the mark. Rebound up for grabs. It's Isaiah Haas who's going to get the rebound, but I believe he was fouled, and that will be the Ogilvie Lions' 10th, and that will send Isaiah Haas to the line for 2 shots. 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. The Dragons lead 27-12. Isaiah Haas again at the line, and that foul is going to be called on Rappel, his second and the team's 10th. They have 4 guys with 2 fouls, so not ideal. Isaiah Haas no good on the first, goes off the back of the rim. And early on, you can kind of tell fouls at the free throw line. We're going to, at the free throw line, free throws. If I can find some English to speak, we're going to be kind of a big point here in this game as Isaiah Haas makes the second one. So he goes 1 of 2 at the line. Under 4.5 we go. Hunter and Tucker back and forth between them. It's Hunter now, gives it off to Tucker. Tucker tries to drive inside, bounce pass there to Kimball, now off to Rappel. Rappel gives it off to Hagel, now back to Hunter. Now to Tucker in the near side corner. Lob pass to Hunter on the far side elbow. Drives inside, he'll put up a shot. A long two is no good, and Riley Cummings going to pull down the rebound here for the Dragons. He gets out of some defensive traffic. Then he'll give it off to Charlie Osmus for three. That's good! Charlie Osmus for three, 31-12, and it's one of only few we've had here. I think that's actually the first one. I think we've had 2 free throws that have been turned into three-point trips, so that might be the first three-point shot we've had here tonight. Shot is up, no good. It's going to be stolen here by Ashton Seals. Seals with the steal. Going the other way is Austinson. He got the roll. Aiden Austinson with the roll. He might have been fouled, and I think they were kind of waiting to blow the whistle to see if it was going to go through, and they didn't blow it because it went through. 33-12 is the score with under 3:20 to go. Kimball, had an easy shot. He lost the dribble as he was going up for the shot, and unfortunately lost the opportunity for an open shot, and Isaiah Haas brought down the rebound. Isaiah Haas will get the pass, and he'll give it off now to Ashton Seals, whose shot is up and no good, but Charlie Osmus waiting right there for the rebound. Put it up and in for 2, and now the Dragons starting to finally gain some control as they lead 35-12 with just under 3 minutes, and I mean just under. It's 2:59 to go here in the first half on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, your customized smile journey starts with the free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. Find out more at embracemn.com. About 3 minutes before halftime here, and it was a little bit of a slow start here for the Dragons, and the Lions had it down to a 4-point deficit for themselves, but then that's kind of when Pine City was able to get things going their way, and a big reason why is they were starting to grab some more fouls. They were starting to force Ogilvie into fouls because early on it looked like the Dragons were going to be in bad foul trouble, but they corrected their mistakes, got back on track, and forced Ogilvie into fouls, and Pine City's been good from the free throw line, but also you can see with these last couple of offensive possessions, they have started to get things rolling their way, and the offensive rebounds have been a big reason why. This time they're going to double Tucker Kenyon. They'll get it off to Kimball now, the freshman. He's trying to make up for his last mistake as Lamont Sidney will knock it out of the hands of Xander Kimball. It goes out of bounds, and it will stay with the Lions. Lamont Sidney and Luke Wilson back into the game for the Dragons. Hunter Kenyon, Tucker Kenyon, now on the far side to Kimball. Kimball goes inside to Tucker Kenyon. His shot is up, no good. Right there for the rebound, though, is Hagel. Now gives it off to Tucker Kenyon again, and his shot is no good. Rebounded here by Isaiah Haas. He's quick up the court, and he's definitely fouled. Ooh! Sorry about that, Lamont Sidney. He was going to go up for the rebound. Didn't need to, and he fell right on his hip, but he's okay. By the way, Isaiah Haas gets that shot to fall as he was fouled, so he gets to go to the free throw line for a shot at 3. A substitution is what we're awaiting, and it looks like her just going to check in for Hagel. So Isaiah Haas got the shot up and in for 2, plus the foul, so he goes to the line for the and 1. And the 3-point play. 38-12 with 2:34 to go. Come on, Sidney guarding Hunter Kenyon, and this pass intended for Hergis is going to go just past his outstretched arm, and it will go out of bounds back to the Dragons. And that one seemed a little bit rushed. It seemed like they had him. It seemed like he had Hergis waiting for him, but the pass just a little rushed in my opinion. Just needed to settle it down a smidge. And now poked out from behind by Hunter Kenyon, but it's Luke Wilson who gets it back, and now it's poked out again. Cole Hergis will get credit for the steal there. We've had a plethora of turnovers here in this one. Hergis going to drive to the line, and great job by Hergis that time to draw the foul from Riley Cummings. A little bit of an acting job, too. Doesn't hurt. And again, sometimes if you can get the referee to call it based on you kind of, I don't want to call it a flop because it's not a flop because it's a smart play. But if you can, I can't think of the word, but emphasize. That's not the word I'm looking for, but if you can emphasize kind of the foul, a lot of times you'll get the call. Shot is up and good from Hergison. One thing with Ogilvie tonight, when they get to the free throw line, they're pretty darn good. So Hergis makes his first. And gets the kind roll to fall through and makes his second. 38-14 is the score, 2:12 to go. Riley Cummings will check out, and for him is Nick Plajek. Other than that, no more substitutions. Lamont Sidney will get set to inbound here to Luke Wilson. 2:10 to go. And here comes Luke Wilson and the Dragons. He'll leisurely take it up the court, and he'll give it off on the far side to Mason Charles. Charles gets around one defender. Oh, nearly made him fall. Now to Haas, now to Luke Wilson in the near side corner, and he's just been unable to get those shots to fall as Lamont Sidney gets the rebound. His shot is up and no good, and Hunter Kenyon brings down the rebound for the Ogilvie Lions. Takes it up past half court, nearly had it stolen away by Charles. Great ball handling from Hunter Kenyon. A deep three is no good, and it's going to go off of Nick Plojek and stay with the Lions. Nick Plojek a little bit upset with himself after that one. Slips through his fingertips and goes out of bounds. So we'll stay with the Lions. 1:43 to go, 38-14. Hunter Kenyon gets set to inbound here for the Lions, and he'll look for Tucker Kenyon right away. Goes back inside to Hunter, back outside to Hergis. Hergis for three. It's a lobbing shot, and it's no good. Isaiah Haas comes down with the rebound. Quickly up the court to Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson, tried to get it off to Lamont Sidney. He was open, and now they got an easy shot. And it's Hunter Kenyon who brings it down. So the steal there from Tucker Kenyon, and Hunter got it to fall. That foul going to go against Nick Plojek for his third. And the three-point play from Hunter Kenyon is good to make it 38-17. Luke Wilson looking to take it up the court here for the Dragons. Giving that ball well out in front of him. Gives it off to Mason Charles. Charles drives inside. Gives it off to Isaiah Haas. Isaiah Haas will drive inside, and he loses it, and it will go back to the Lions. (38-17). Another turnover will give the ball back to the Lions with 1:08 to go. It's Hunter Kenyon who splits the defense, goes inside. His shot is up, and he just didn't get enough roll on that one, and the rebound taken by Isaiah Haas. Quickly up the court goes Luke Wilson, and should be a foul, but they're going to just say the ball goes out of bounds off of a Lion. Both teams with 10 fouls, both in the double bonus, and looks like they're going to get Hunter Kenyon for a technical. I didn't see it, so I can't really comment on it, but I didn't hear anything. It must have been an action he did or something he said to the referee. Well, either way, it's going to be Luke Wilson at the line to shoot two, and his first one is good. Makes it 39-17. Just under a minute to go here in the first half. I didn't see or hear anything, but they get him for the tech, and Luke Wilson makes both. Interesting. Hunter Kenyon, again, the technical foul on him. I didn't see or hear anything, so the ball will stay with the Dragons after the two free throw shots made by Luke Wilson, and Mason Charles will inbound it here to Wilson. And Wilson on the far side, nearly. And I don't really understand what Hunter Kenyon was doing on that one. It looked like he was following him like it was the end of the game. I mean, he wrapped him up from behind, and that's his third foul. Interesting. I guess I'm interested to see the strategy was in fouling him there. But Luke Wilson misses the first, so maybe they knew something I didn't. That is Hunter Kenyon's third now, so you want to be careful with the fouls. Luke Wilson does make the second one, so he goes 1 for 2 from the line, and Hunter Kenyon takes it up the court, looking for a screen from Rappel. Driving in, and now we're going to get a foul here on Pine City. That's going to be on Nick Plojek. Oh, there. We get that on Luke Wilson. I don't know about that call. No, they did get on Nick Plojek. Okay. 4 fouls now for Nick Plojek, and he's in some foul trouble here. First one is up and good from Hunter Kenyon. Again, like I've mentioned before, Hunter, these Ogilvie lines are pretty darn good from the free throw line. Looks like we get our second player substituted here for the Lions as Nick Plojek comes out for Aiden Ossenson. It looks like it'll be Anthony Bitts. Anthony Bitts, another freshman. as Hunter Kenyon makes them both to make it 41-19. And stop in the play for a moment to get a substitutions. It'll be Anthony Bitts who checks in for Hunter Kenyon. Luke Wilson will take it up the court for the Dragons with 35 seconds left to go. It'll be interesting to see what the Dragons do here. Will they try and take a shot late, or will they hold on to it and get the last second shot, as Lamont Sidney could have been called for it, and they will get him for the charge. That'll be his third. So Lamont Sidney is called for his third foul. Ball will go back to the Lions. 26 seconds to go. Ashton Seals will check in for Lamont Sidney. And they're going to put him back out there. They're going to put Hunter Kenyon back out there with 3 fouls already. He'll come in for Anthony Bitts. 41-19, 26 seconds to go. Hergis will inbound to Hunter Kenyon, and Hunter Kenyon is their leading scorer, so I understand, but you just got to be careful. He has 3 fouls. Don't want him to get his 4th here in the first half. He gives it off to Xander Kimball, and now it's stolen away here by Ashton Seals. Ashton Seals will give it deep, and then Aiden Austinson getting the pass, couldn't hold on to it from Isaiah Haas, and it will go out of bounds and go back to the lines with 10.5 seconds left. Now, if you're the Dragons, you're up 41-19, so you don't necessarily need to score in. But scoring at the end of a half is so big that I can't help but think the Dragons will try, but looks like they will not pressure the lines, and that's got to be an illegal screen. It is. The player, unfortunately, for Ogilvie was moving as he tried to set that screen, so unfortunately that is an illegal screen, and that'll be the 3rd foul here on Hunter Rappel. So 3 seconds, and that's tough too, because now with the foul, you give it back to the Dragons with 3 seconds left. Luke Wilson will get it, and he's going to pull up from 3. Shot is good! The buzzer beater for Luke Wilson. And not only is it a buzzer beater, it's a 3-point shot to end the half. So the Dragons will go to halftime leading 44-19 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, they will do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. And if you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget at embracemn.com. 44-19 is the score here at halftime. And we'll take a commercial break. And when we come back, I'll recap the first half, give you my keys to the game for both teams, and let you know what I think they need to do to come out of here with the victory. You're listening to Boys Basketball on 100.9 FM.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear and Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden french fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Ice Santee has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Ice Santee. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank & Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank & Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Ethan Game Day Gilman back here on 100.9 FM, WCMP, and live with video at WCMPradio.com on our YouTube page. Again, if you are watching on our YouTube page, don't forget to like and subscribe, because liking and subscribing will let you know anytime that we go live with a local sporting event, and you want to be getting notified for when we do that. That way you can just click on it and watch live. Of course, if you're listening on the radio at 100.9 FM, thanks so much for tuning in. The first half lead goes the Dragons' way, and it reads 44-19 in favor of the Pine City Dragons. And looking at the Lions' leading scorer, it was Hunter Kenyon with 10 points, 6 for Rappel and 3 for Cole Hergis. Rebound-wise, 6 for Hunter Kenyon. He led the team in both scoring and rebounds. He also had 4 steals, but he came away with 3 rebounds. He got a tech foul there about I think it was 30 seconds left in the first half, and I didn't see it, so I can't really say if it was, I don't know. I didn't get to see it, so I can't really comment on it. And then it was kind of odd, off the inbound pass, it almost looked like it was the end of the game foul where he's wrapping up Luke Wilson for the quick foul. And now, to be fair, that could have been just a case where, hey, the coach said, let's foul right away so that we can send them to the line and get the ball back right away for our team. That way we're not having to watch Pine City go, drain the clock, and having to wait and possibly not get a last chance opportunity for a shot. But unfortunately, he does come away with 3 fouls. Also with 3 fouls was Hunter Rappel. They came away with 13 team fouls in that first half. They did have 9 total steals, though, in the first half for their side, and a lot of those came midway through that first half, and it looked good. I mean, when they were getting the steals and getting things to go their way, they kept it close, and when the game seemed a little bit out of reach, they really came back with those steals and started to get things going for their offense. Even though the points didn't come off of the steals, you have to be impressed with what you saw if you're their head coach, Sam Weaver, because those steals provide you a lot of offense, and that really kind of killed any momentum Pine City had there in that first half, because Pine City went into a scoring lull for a good 3.5 minutes there in that first half, and they really couldn't find a way out of it. But then for Pine City, they did find their way out of it, and they started to shoot the ball well and get to the free throw line and make pretty much all of their free throws. As we look on the other side for the Pine City Dragons, it is Luke Wilson who leads the team with 14. Charlie Osmus and Lamont Sidney fall behind him with 9 points each. Rebounds-wise, there were a couple of guys who had 5. It was Lamont Sidney and Isaiah Haas both with 5 rebounds, but 4 rebounds each for Luke Wilson and Lamont Sidney. They were all over the place on defense. Lamont Sidney probably could have had about 3 or 4 blocks, but he got called for the foul because he did get a little bit more than the ball, and he plays such a strong, intimidating defensive style that it is sometimes it does work against him because he does play so aggressive that he does get a few more foul calls. He's working with 3 right now, and the team has, I think, about 12 there in the first half, and 4 for Nick Plajic, unfortunately, coming off the bench. But it looks good. They have 12 steals total in that first half, and it looked, again, when they were getting the steals to go their way early on, that's when they got their offense rolling. Then they hit that lull when Ogilvie was able to get the steals the other way. But then Pine City, again, I think, with the biggest thing, and we talk about it a lot, but the offensive rebounds started to make a huge difference for this Pine City team because it created second chance opportunities, and they capitalized on those second chance opportunities. As we look now to our keys to the second half for the Ogilvie Lions, I think one of the things you're going to have to do is just continue to play aggressive, continue to try and take that ball away, and continue to allow them to drive inside but then collapse on them like you have been. They've been doing a good job of almost letting them free flow, the Dragons, to drive inside, almost giving it to them, saying, hey, go for it, and then all of a sudden you'll have 3 Dragon defenders, or 3 Lion defenders around 1 Dragon, and that a lot of times forces either A, a foul on offense, or B, a turnover to happen, and I think if you're Ogilvie, you're going to have to do that on defense. Offensively, I think you're going to have to shoot the perimeter shot a little bit more. I know they didn't get it rolling there in that first half, but I think here in the second half, you're really going to have to try and get that rolling in the second half. You've got a lot of points to make up, about 25 of them. It's not out of reach by any means, because we've seen what that Lions team could do, so I think you're going to have to try and get those perimeter shots to fall, and as well, get those short shots to fall. We've seen them drive inside and get easy short twos or long twos, short twos to. They were able to get those shots out, but just unable to get them to fall. For Pine City, I say keep being aggressive on defense. I say keep going for that ball. Keep being aggressive. Keep looking for the steal. Try and put this one away early. Try and go out, get as many steals as you can, and try and put it away if you're the Dragons. Try and do that on defense. I think just continue to be aggressive, and then on offense, I think, again, I know Coach Allen said that they don't really do it, but I think you should. I think that you should just feed the hot hand right now. You've got a couple of guys, Lamont Sidney, Luke Wilson, Charlie Osmus, who are your leading scorers with 14 for Luke Wilson and 9 for Charlie Osmus and Lamont Sidney, but I think you should continue to feed them as well as continue to crash the offensive board, because we've seen what happens when they get the rebounds on offense. They do a great job of getting the second chance opportunities, and they have converted plenty here in the first half. 18 minutes back up on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. Find out more at embraceamend.com. Charles inbounds to Luke Wilson, and that pass, nearly stolen away by Tucker Kenyon, but it was swatted back and forth. It was nearly out of bounds, and then it was swatted back in by Tucker, and it went off of Isaiah Haas, nearly rolled out of bounds, but the Dragons were able to get it back. Then we get a foul here. That's going to go against Isaiah Haas, it looks like, on the rebound, and ball will go to the Ogilvie Lions as they get it deep. Inbounded to Hergis. He's already in the front court, stops on his drive, gives it off here to Hagel. Hagel tried to get it to Rappel, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by a Dragon, and great job there by the Lions to realize that, hey, the Dragons are kind of leaving that backcourt open, and they just did a good job of getting it down here to Hergis, and he was wide open. And now Tucker gives it off to Hunter, and his shot is up and no good. Rebounded here by Isaiah Haas. And again, I know I said that they should try and get that perimeter shot to fall, even though it's not falling, but the dangerous thing about that is sometimes you try and get that to fall, and a lot of times if you don't make it, it's rebounded by the defense, and then it's then you're without points anyways. It's stolen away here by Hunter Kenyon, but his shot is up and no good. Rebounded the other way for Lamont Sidney, and that's stolen away by Hergis. Just unable to hold on to it was Lamont Sidney, and now Hunter Kenyon for three, almost there. I mean, he nearly got it to fall, but just off the mark. Riley Cummings has his pass stolen away by Hunter Kenyon, who will put it up and in for two. So Hunter Kenyon will get the first points up on the board here in the second half. Lamont Sidney looks for three in the near side corner. That's off the mark. And bumping bodies is Hunter Kenyon and Mason Charles, and that will be a foul on Pine City. I believe that'll be Charles' first foul here in the game, and team's second here in the second half. Ogilvie will inbound here from the back court. Hagel will inbound to Hunter Kenyon, now to Tucker. And Tucker gives it off to Hergis. Hergis up the court, and he's going to put up a floater. And he couldn't get it to fall. Those are the ones that they got to fall in the first half. Not that time, as Lamont Sidney comes down with the rebound, working through the defense. He gives it off to Luke Wilson. Great pass, and then it's no good from Luke Wilson. He gets his own rebound, and his shot is up and no good again. Gets the own rebound again. Left-handed shot is up and no good, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by the Dragons, Mason Charles. Wow. Lamont Sidney drove inside, went up for the shot, passed it to Luke Wilson. He missed, got his own rebound, missed again, got his own rebound, missed again, and then it went out of bounds. And Isaiah Haas, that's too easy of a steal as he gets it, gives it off to Riley Cummings, who puts it up and in for two. And if you're the Tiger Lions, you can't do that because lobbing it up like that, the Dragons are so aware of what's happening. They will realize that, hey, it's a lob pass, let's just go up and get it. And they'll kind of play zone defense to kind of lull you into that, kind of say, hey, we're playing zone, we're playing off. And then as you lob it in, well, they've got the speed to come and get it. Hagel gets it. He nearly has it stolen away by Charles. Hagel drives inside, stops on his drive, gives it to Hergis. Hergis slips, drives inside himself, gives it off to Rappel. Rappel fakes the three and then drives inside. He gets Lamont Sidney to the court to fall, and Rappel puts it up off the glass for two. Rappel's done such a good job inside. He just gets either a floater or a little layup that goes off the backboard, and he's done such a great job of that. Meanwhile, Luke Wilson to Isaiah Haas for three. That's no good. Lamont Sidney comes down with the rebound, and it's up and in for two. Lamont Sidney, I mean, his rebounds nearly got double-double here for himself. Hagel gives it up to Tucker Kenyon. And, I don't know where Tucker was going with that one. And Hunter is okay. It looks like he was going into the scorer's table, but he is good. I don't know what Tucker Kenyon was trying to do there. I think what he was trying to do is almost kind of like a bowling shot, trying to get some spin on it to get the ball away from the defender, but kind of spin back to Hunter, and it did not work that time as Luke Wilson comes up the court now, gives it off to Aiden Austinson. Austinson here on the far side will give it off to Luke Wilson. Wilson in the near side corner to Osmus, now to Isaiah Haas. To Luke Wilson for three. That's off the mark. Rebounded here by Tucker Kenyon, and he will get fouled. And the Lions will get to inbound here in the backcourt. So the Lions will get set to inbound. As now the Lions have it in the front court. 48-23, the Dragons with the lead. That last foul was on Isaiah Haas, by the way, and Hagel, he got it, and was he fouled or was he out of bounds? I don't know. I think they're going to say he was fouled. Yes, no, maybe so, no. I think they just say, I'm not sure. Looks like a Dragon touched it last out of bounds, so Hagel will get the inbound. He puts it up and in for two. Beautiful pass and just very aware. And now the Dragons take it up the court. Giving it off here from Luke Wilson to Charlie Osmus. Lobbing shot, no good. Rebounded by Hunter Kenyon. 48-25, and here come the Lions, and Hergis keeps it alive, and Hunter Kenyon, comes down with it now to Hagel. Hagel all the way across court to Tucker Kenyon. That comes up short on the shot, and Riley Cummings gets the rebound. And the Dragons quickly up the court. Luke Wilson, nice Euro move, but shot is up and no good. A fight for the rebound is going to go out of bounds off of Luke Wilson. So we'll go back to the Lions. They will get to inbound it once again. Here is Rappel. He gives it off to Hunter Kenyon. I keep getting those two mixed up. His shot is up and no good, and Isaiah Haas comes down with the rebound. Luke Wilson quickly up the court, gives it off here to Riley Cummings, who puts it up and in for two. Just a beautiful pass there from Luke Wilson. And now the Lions have it back. It's Tucker Kenyon, who looks for a pass, but it's stolen away here by Isaiah Haas. Quickly up the court to Aiden Ostenson, and it's just in front of him a little bit too far. That'll go out of bounds, and it will go back to the Lions. Lamont Sidney, Nick Plajek, Ashton Seals, Mason Charles will check in for Luke Wilson, Riley Cummings, Isaiah Haas, and Charlie Osmus. But the Lions, they do get to inbound here. Hunter and Tucker will pass in between themselves. It goes back to Hunter, and he goes all the way to Hergis. Now to Rappel, and for the first time, Rappel doesn't get the one to fall off the backboard. He has gotten those all night long. So Aiden Ostenson gets the rebound. Lamont Sidney has his pass nearly stolen away there by Tucker Kenyon, but it goes out of bounds, and it's last touched by the Lions. It's Ashton Seals with the inbound pass. He gets it now to Nick Plajek. Back to Seals, to Mason Charles. Far side to Aiden Ostenson. Ostenson inside to Mason Charles. He puts it up and in for two, plus an and one. So Mason Charles will be at the line for the possible three-point play. And his shot is up and no good, but rebounded there by Nick Plajek, but he has it stolen away by Tucker Kenyon. Nick Plajek got the rebound and then had it stolen away. Pass all the way across court here from Hagel to Hergis. Hergis slips, but he stays on his feet, and now we're going to get a foul here on the Dragons again. It's going to be on Ostenson, his first. Team's fourth. And he's set to inbound. Here's Hunter Kenyon. He will inbound here to Hergis. Now off to Hagel. Hagel on the near side elbow. Top key to Hergis. Now to Hunter Kenyon. Kenyon gives it off back to Hagel. Now to Kenyon. On the far side here to Hergis. Now to Tucker. Back to Hunter. And Lamont Sidney right there for the steal. And shot is up, no good, but he was fouled. And Hagel, a lot of people wanted him on a bigger foul. They didn't call it. A lot of people wanted a tech, but he kind of came back and said, hey, First one is up and good from Lamont Sidney to make it 53-25 in the second half with 12 minutes to go. Second one is no good, so he makes one of two, and now get a whistle and a timeout called here, as it was Nick Plajek who came down with the rebound, and I think just before the jump ball got called, head coach Kyle Allen got a timeout called. So a very smart timeout called there by Kyle Allen and the Dragons. And the Dragons with the timeout. 53-25 is the score. For the Dragons, with, again, 12 minutes on that Embrace It orthodontic scoreboard. Dr. Severs is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Find out more at embracemn.com. It's been a pretty good game here, even though it's a 28-point game now for the Ogilvie Lions, who trail. But it's been pretty good back and forth, and been pretty physical and chippy as well here throughout. But it's a Great River Conference game. You don't expect any less. These two teams battling hard here to get a win in the Great River Conference. Both of them 1-1, or I think, yes, 1-1 in the conference. So now the Dragons will get set to inbound. Osmus inbounds to Mason Charles, and racing after the rebound was Kimball, and he gets it, but he nearly had it stolen away, but it was knocked out of bounds by a Dragon. So Hergis will inbound it here to Hunter Kenyon, now to Tucker, back to Hunter. Hunter on the far side of the court, and he'll go all the way to Rappel, but it goes to Hergis, and now it's stolen away by Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson gives it off to Charlie Osmus. Osmus wants to go inside to Luke Wilson, who puts it up and in for two. 55-25, 30-point game in favor of the Dragons with under 11.5 to go. Hunter Kenyon back to Tucker, and no, down the court they go to Hergis, and that is well above his head. And Ogilvie, I think they just need to settle things down. They're going for that. They're trying to get all of the points back in one. They're going for that big pass, that big shot. And I think they just need to settle it down just a little bit because the turnovers have since become a problem for the Lions. And just got to settle it down a little bit. Can't get all the points back in one. Just got to work at it one by, well, two by two, or 3 by 3, however you want to look at it. Passing back and forth for the Dragons on offense, and we'll just take some time off the clock here with these passes. Mason Charles, and stolen away. That's a very good play there by Tucker Kenyon. And now it goes up the court. It's going to be out of bounds, and I think it will stay with the Lions. It will. Cole Hergis will get set to inbound for the Lions. He'll inbound it here to Tucker Kenyon. And gives it off to Hunter on the far side. Back to Tucker. Back to Hunter. And now in the far side corner there to Kimball. And that pass is lobbed and stolen away here by Lamont Sidney. And he's going to take it, to the basket. His shot is up, no good. The attempted dunk is no good. And no foul call. I think they're just going to say there's a strap that comes down to help the hoop move up and down, and that is considered out of play. And I believe it hit that when it came down. So it will go back to the Lions. I like the shot. I like the attempt there by Lamont Sidney. And I think he just was a little bit off on his footwork getting to the dunk attempt. I mean, he's got it in his arsenal to dunk that ball, but I think just off on his footwork getting to it. We do have a kickball on the other side here by the Dragons, so we'll stay with the Lions once again. It's Hunter Kenyon who will inbound here to Hergis for three. It's just off the mark. Mason Charles will get the rebound. He's going the other way, and he'll look for the rebound, but he's stuffed by the rim. Kimball will get the rebound, and I'm sure Kyle Allen will probably be telling those guys, hey, just go for the layup next time. We want the points. If we're up probably, I know they're up by 30 points, but Kyle Allen will probably want them next time to just go for the layup. And he, to be fair, Mason Charles tried on that one. Kind of half went for the dunk, half went for the layup. Missed on it, and he got the steal, but his shot is up and no good. It will go out of bounds off of the Lions. 10:02 to go. A timeout called here by Kyle Allen and the Pine City Dragons. 55-25 is the score on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Of course, Embrace Orthodontics is helping you find a smile you'll embrace forever. You can find out more at their website at embracemn.com. We'll take a 30-second commercial break here on 100.9.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Ethan Game Day Gilman back with you here on 100.9 FM WCMP, also streaming live with video on our website at WCMPradio.com. That will take you to our YouTube page. This game being broadcast on WCMP Sports 5 YouTube. So again, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe so you're notified anytime we go live with a local sporting event. Or if you're listening on the radio, thanks so much for tuning in on the radio. Again, if it weren't for anybody tuning in, we wouldn't have a reason to come out here and bring you these games. So thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're watching or listening. Thank you so much for tuning in here tonight. The Dragons will get set to inbound again. The missed dunk / layup for Mason Charles was knocked out of bounds by the Lions. So Dragons will get to inbound. They do to Isaiah Haas. He'll go across court to Ashton Seals. He wanted to go to Austinson in the near side corner, but he was unable to. And now the pass to Isaiah Haas. Now to Charlie Osmus. Back to Seals in the near side corner for Austinson for three. It's no good. And Riley Cummings got the rebound, but he was fouled. And he'll go to the line and shoot two. I don't know. It'll depend. Yeah, it's going to be two. Did they get that on Rappel? They did. So it'll be his fourth, team's third. Shot is up and banks off the backboard and in for the first one from Riley Cummings. And the second one is up and good as well. To make it 57-25, just under 10 minutes to go. Creeping up on that halfway point. Hunter Kenyon passed it to Hergis, and that ball is well down court, but it's taken away by Isaiah Haas, who nearly lost his dribble. Gives it off to Charlie Osmus. Off the front of the rim, no good. Ashton Seals comes down with the rebound. Now to Charlie Osmus. Back over to Isaiah Haas. Haas goes all the way across court to Seals. Now in the near side corner for Austinson. Back out to Osmus. Now that ball is tipped and stolen away here by Hunter Kenyon. He's got a plethora of steals here tonight. He backs it out on the far side. Trying to drive inside. He puts up a little floater. His shot is up and no good. Oh, my goodness. They're going to get him for a foul, an offensive foul. Hunter Kenyon with his fourth. He leads the team with 12 points. Closing in on a double-double with rebounds. He had 6, now he has 8. And he has 7 steals as well. Almost a triple-double here for Hunter Kenyon. Meanwhile, Aiden Austinson will pass off to Ashton Seals. And he's looking to get around the defenders. Does a nice job. He'll get it back out to Austinson, and that's going to be tipped out of bounds by the Lions. And great job there by Aiden Austinson to kind of watch that one and realize that, hey, it was tipped, so I can let it go out of bounds. I don't have to tiptoe the sidelines to try and bring it back. Inbounded here to Isaiah Haas. He'll get it to Osmus. Going inside for Riley Cummings, but Charlie Osmus brings it back in. Ashton Seals now with it to Osmus, now to Haas, back out to Seals. Seals fakes the shot, goes inside. His shot is, well, not really a shot. It was poked out and then goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Lions. Meanwhile, Aiden Pierce has checked in for the first time for the Lions. He did on the free throw attempt from Riley Cummings the last time around. And now Rappel, and he'll look to just kind of float that one in. And again, that has just been huge for him tonight. He has been so good on that shot all night long, and I think they got to give it to him a little bit more often and just let him do that, because I don't think he's missed on that shot. He missed once, and it was a shock that he missed it. So keep giving him the ball. Feed him. Let him just get those little floaters. Ashton Seals tried the no-look pass, and Isaiah Haas will bring it in. Now to Charlie Osmus on the far side corner, to Seals, to Aiden Austinson for 3 in the near side corner. That's off the mark. And Tucker Kenyon brings down the rebound. He's quick up the court. Quickly guarded by Charlie Osmus. He'll fade away too. It's no good. And Isaiah Haas right there for the rebound for Pine City. He gives it off now to Aiden Austinson. Austinson stops, gives it off. Oh, to no one. It was between Isaiah Haas and Charlie Osmus. I think it was a little bit of confusion as to who was supposed to go get it. So it goes in between them, out of bounds. And checking in is Mason Charles, Lamont Sidney, Luke Wilson. In for Aiden Austinson, Ashton Seals, and Charlie Osmus. 7:49 to go, 57-27 is the lead here for Pine City on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. The Lions will inbound it here to Hergis. Hergis up the court with it, gets around Sidney for a moment, and then he drives, puts up a shot. No good, almost got it to fall. It's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by the Dragons. Aiden Pierce almost got the rebound for the Lions, but it will roll out of bounds off of a Dragon player, and now it looks like Hunter Kenyon will check back in. He comes in for Aiden Pierce. Hunter Kenyon looks to inbound. Lobs it into Tucker. Wanted the three, instead drives, gives it off to Hergis for three. Off the backboard, no good. Isaiah Haas will come down with the rebound here for Pine City. Luke Wilson into the far side corner to Mason Charles. Now near side elbow. Haas to Lamont Sidney. Three near side corner. And unable to get that one to fall, but Mason Charles comes up with the rebound to Luke Wilson for three, and it's through. Luke Wilson for three to make it 60-27. With 7:05 to go here in the second half. The Lions have it now in the front court. And Rappel shot up and no good. And Rappel, that's his fifth. So Rappel unfortunately fouls out, and he was a big presence underneath the basket, especially with those little floaters inside. And they really could have used him here down the stretch, but unfortunately he fouls out with his fifth. 7 minutes to go as the Dragons have it back. Wilson will bounce pass here to Mason Charles. He'll fake the pass to Sidney. Now to Wilson, going inside to Sidney, and his shot is up, no good. Riley Cummings comes down with the rebound, and he'll put it up and in for two. Riley Cummings has come alive here in the second half. He's got 12 points and creeping up on 10 rebounds. He has 8 unofficially. Luke Wilson with the steal, puts it up, no good. And Isaiah Haas comes down with the rebound, and he'll put it back up and in for two. Bumping bodies on there, getting physical here. As the Dragons lead 64-27 with 6:15 to go. It's Hunter Kenyon, who has his pass to Tucker Kenyon tip, but Tucker Kenyon comes down with it. Then he tries a dribble behind the back, and it goes to Luke Wilson, who comes down with the steal. He'll put it up off the backboard and in for two on the layup, 66-27. And you can start to see that the Lions starting to get a little bit tired here. And Hunter Kenyon a little bit frustrated that a foul wasn't called there on Pine City. He may have had a point because Luke Wilson was all over him. Looks like we'll get a couple of the younger guys in here for Pine City as I try to grab their jersey numbers. I hope I will get them. Aiden Ossenson will check in, as will number 3. That's going to be Derek Kinn. 21-0. And 5. So number 21, that's going to be Merrick Overtoom. As well as, not sure who wears the 0 on the Jace Preston. There we go. I figured it out. Preston will go inside to Overtoom, and he lost it, so we'll go back to the Lions. Eli Fromm is number 5. We got the JV players out there, and a steal there from Merrick Overtoom. And he'll give it off to Aiden Ossenson. Ossenson nearly had it stolen away. He holds on to it, brings it down, gives it off now to Jace Preston for 3. Off the mark. Getting the rebound, though, is Derek Kinn. His shot is up and no good. Back in from Overtoom for 2. Merrick Overtoom gets the 2-point shot to fall. And the Dragons lead 68-27 with 4:43 to go here in the game. It will be a timeout called by Ogilvie. Dragons lead 68-27 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. Find out more at embracemn.com. So again, some of the younger guys, the JV players coming in here for Pine City. And I hope I've got these correct. It looks like I do so far. I'm trying to work quickly, but again, some of the JV numbers might not coincide with their varsity numbers because the jerseys for varsity and JV are different. Again, I believe that these are correct. Merrick Overtoom got those last 2 for the Dragons. Timeout almost over, and there's the buzzer. 68-27, and the Lions will come back out. They've got pretty much everyone in. Unfortunately, they do have a small, not as in size, but just in numbers-wise, a smaller team. Which, going into the single A playoffs, that might almost work for better for you, because then you know what kind of competition you've played against, and played against bigger schools, and will be well conditioned. That foul going to go on the Dragons. Austinson, that'll be his second, team's fifth here in the second half, and at the line to shoot 2 is Cole Hergis. We do have running time for the remainder of this game. That shot is up and no good. And this one is up and good from Hergis. So he makes 1 of 2 to make it 68-28. And Austinson will give it off here to Kinn. Kinn wanting to go back to Austinson, but instead gives it to Preston. Preston, and that one's going to be stolen away here by Aiden Pierce. And going inside to Hergis. And I think we get a foul here on the Dragons once again, as looks like, yes, we will. That'll be on Austinson, his third. Lions will get ready to inbound. Pierce, his shot is up. No good. It was blocked by Jace Preston. And quickly up the court to Aiden Austinson, who puts it up and in for 2. 2 from Austinson to make it 70-28 with 3:05 to go. And now with it, that is Kimball. Kimball gives it off to Aiden Pierce, and that's going to go out of bounds. Just out of his outstretched reach from Pierce, and ball will go back to the Dragons. Again, running time for the remainder of this game with 2:50 to go and counting. And getting the inbound is Austinson. Austinson will bounce pass here to Kinn. Kinn back to Austinson. Austinson trying to go inside here to Eli Fromm. And trying to get it to Preston, but it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Lions. We're going to get a timeout called here by the Dragons. So the Dragons call timeout with 2:27 to go. 70-28 is their lead. And this more of a timeout just to kind of talk to his JV guys. So they will get back out onto the court, and Ogilvie going to utilize the full length of the timeout. So both teams back out onto the court. 2:27 to go. The clock will run and continue to run once we inbound it. Aiden Austinson will look to inbound. He's going to have to inbound it quick. He does to Jace Preston, and he gets it out now to Derek Kinn for 3. It's no good. And coming down with the rebound that time is Eli Fromm. Aiden Austinson will drive inside. Nice move by Austinson to put it up and in for 2. It's 72-28. Here come the Lions. It's Kimball with it. Trying to knock it out of his hand, but could not make it happen, and number 11 is in the game, but it's stolen away here by Derek Kinn. His shot is up and no good. But we do get a foul on the Lions. I don't have a number 11 on my roster for Ogilvie, so I apologize to anyone who's listening. Don't have a 22 either. And getting the foul that time was number 11, so give them another foul. Their 6th team foul. And Derek Kinn's shot is up and good. And that one no good. But Kinn makes 1. Rebound got there by Eli Fromm. Another one, and Dragons will get it back. Fromm in the near side corner. Drives inside. He'll give it off to Jace Preston. Now inside. And a beautiful pass there to Merrick Overtomb. Puts it up and in for 2. 75-28. Get more substitutions here for the Lions. I'm guessing more JV players At number 31, I believe that's Andrew Tharp. And I believe Adam Shodine is number 22. Again, don't have an 11 out there so on the roster sheet, so I apologize. Landon Hatfield is out there as well for the Lions with under a minute to go, 75-28. The Ogilvie player is defended well, and that ball stolen away by Eli Fromm, and it's back to Aiden Ostenson. Fromm with the steal, and up and in for two from Eli Fromm. 77-28, and 32 seconds to go. Lions will get it inbounded. 30 seconds, 29, and counting. Lions trying to get something on the board here before the end of the game. Eli Fromm with the steal. And now the Dragons will probably just settle things down. And they will. Aiden Ostenson on the far side will look to just dribble out the rest of the clock, and we're under 10 seconds to go, and that will be it here in Pine City. So the final here for the Dragons, 77-28 over the Ogilvie Lions. We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk with our A&W player of the game as well as head coach Kyle Allen. You're listening to Boys Basketball on
Choose the
100.9 FM,
right
WCMP.
divorce attorney. Spear and Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Back here on 100.9 FM, WCMP, we are now joined by our A&W player of the game. It is going to be Charlie Osmus. Charlie, first of all, congratulations on the win and being our A&W player of the game.
Yeah, thanks. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of new guys out there today, so it was a lot of energy, and it was awesome.
Yeah, this game was pretty physical there in the first half. How did you guys manage to stick with that and kind of power through?
So we kind of just kept grinding and doing our thing, kept up the energy all the way through and never allowed a drop-off to happen. So it just eventually everything flowed well.
And the passing out there was huge in this game. How did you feel the passing was? Was that part of the game plan going into this one, or did that kind of something that just happened with you guys out there on the court?
Well, we were planning on moving the ball around, and I thought we did that really well. We got a lot of open shots down at the rim and open threes, so that was really good.
Well, thank you so much again for joining me, and congrats on the win and our A&W player of the game.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that again, Charlie Osmus, our A&W player of the game. We are now joined by the head coach, Kyle Allen. Coach, first of all, congrats on the win.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was really hard fought, but I loved our energy, and we elevated two guys to their first varsity jersey tonight, Briar Willert and Eli Fromm, and we've been really teaching. Our program, what we preach is defense, rebounding, and energy. And we are searching for some energy a little bit right now. And those are two guys that are continuing to bring it, continuing to bring intensity at the JV level in practice when they're going against the guys, and so we felt they had put some good tape together, and we wanted to reward them. So you're adding more voices to the bench, you're adding more excitement to the bench, and it's just contagious. So we were really excited about that, and I thought it showed really well tonight in especially when we both teams kind of got to a slow start, and with that you want to be able to maintain energy even when things aren't going necessarily your way, shots aren't falling, and I thought our guys did a really good job of doing everything they could to keep that energy high.
Yeah, and you talk about kind of a slow start for both teams here, and the energy was there, but it looked like the fouls early on became a problem for your team. What kind of adjustments did you make to make sure that didn't become more of a problem later on?
Yeah, you think it'd be as simple as just say stop fouling, but it doesn't always work that way. We want to play an aggressive style of basketball on both ends of the court, and so sometimes fouls come with that. Again, you try to gauge, you try to figure out how you want to go through the game and how you want to attack it and where the right spots are to attack. And so I thought our guys did a nice job of adjusting. Really the second part of that first half, I thought they did a really nice job of adjusting to the play call and to what we needed to do to be successful. And I thought we carried that through a lot in how we played into the second half.
Yeah, and it looked like getting towards the end of the first half, offensive rebounds became a huge part at getting those second chance opportunities. Was that kind of the message to the guys, kind of go more, get those offensive rebounds and create more second chance opportunities?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to be able to crash those boards and give ourselves those second chance possessions. As many possessions we can play in a game, we want to play. And they kind of come in flurries, so you don't get 5, 6, 7 in a row, and then all of a sudden you get 3 on a possession or 4 on a possession, and they kind of just keep coming. And that's what you want. You want to be able to capitalize on them when you get the opportunity and do your best to give yourself an opportunity to get them as much as possible.
And you talk about your guys playing aggressive on defense. We've seen it a couple times. They could have gotten a block, but the foul was called. What is the message to those guys when they do get a foul call on something like that?
Yeah, next play, flush it, get to the next one. Learn from your mistake. You're constantly taking in hundreds of little pieces of information and trying to make sense of it at one time. And so you're trying to they're trying to listen to me. They're trying to figure out the other team. They're trying to figure out the call of the officials. It's kind of all those things placed into one. And so it's all those things that they're taking, and they're trying to make the right decision of what they need to do. And so our hope is that we have created a program and a foundation and a system that allows them to know what the answer is. So take the information in, process it, and say, okay, this is what we're supposed to do in this situation. And so that's what we ask our guys to do.
Absolutely. And you were able to get some of the younger guys in the JV players. You talk about elevating them. A couple guys to their first JV or varsity jerseys tonight. What was that like to be able to get those guys in for some valuable varsity minutes tonight?
It's awesome because it's one of those moments where all the older guys remember when that was their time. So you got Eli Fromm scoring his first varsity points, Briar Willett scoring his first varsity points. They all remember doing that when that was their moment, when it was their time that they got to do that. And so it's so much fun to have the program, celebrate those kind of things. And I think Eli kind of just exploded in joy when he saw that ball go in, which is just awesome. We have a saying, we always say, act like you've been there before. We don't need to celebrate everything. You act like you've been there before. Well, he'd never been here before, so that was his first time. So it was good. We'll let him go ahead and have that one.
Absolutely. And this a good win here, another conference opponent that you get the victory over, and now you look ahead here. I believe it's tomorrow night you go up to Duluth-Denfeld. What are you looking for in that game?
Yeah, and again, it's us trying to strengthen our schedule, play as many 3A teams as we can. And they're non-section games, they're non-conference games. So in terms of bearing on our standings, it's not a hit one way or the other. What it is really is a chance for us to gain some experience against some bigger, faster, more athletic, deeper teams, and then be able to hopefully draw from those experiences as we come back into 2A games or conference games, section games, whatever the case may be. So whatever experience that we can gather against teams like that. I mean, obviously we want to go in, we want to get a win. That's our goal, and that's what we're going to prep for. But we also understand that it's an end to a mean, and our goals revolve around making sure that we're winning against schools our size.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations on the win, and good luck tomorrow night.
Appreciate you. Thank you for all your coverage.
Absolutely. We'll be right back after this.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
Again, thank you to Charlie Osmus, our A&W player of the game. Thanks to head coach Kyle Allen for joining me after the win. You got to pause there because I wanted to make sure that I get all the numbers right. And Briar Willert, he was wearing number 3 tonight, so I want to make sure that I give credit to the right players. Of course, Briar Willert and you heard Eli Fromm were elevated to their first varsity jerseys tonight, so congratulations to them both on being elevated to their first varsity jerseys. But again, I just want to make sure that I always get the numbers right because I know a lot of times coaches sometimes don't have the opportunity to update the roster before a game, and head coach Kyle Allen was kind of explaining to me kind of what happened with that. So I appreciate head coach Kyle Allen for taking time to do that, to explain to me, to kind of let me know kind of what happened and who's getting their first varsity minutes and who's, getting their first varsity points. He talked about Eli Fromm, getting his first varsity points, which is, I just think it is so cool to be able to see guys who get their first varsity points in a game like this. It is very fun to watch these types of games. So the Dragons do get the victory here in this one, 77-28, as I do some terrible math, and they got 7, looking over at the Ogilvie side, they got 7 steals here in the second half to make it 16 total. They got 5 fouls to make it 18 total. Points-wise, leading the way for them was Hunter Kenyon with 12. Hunter Rappel had 10. And then 4 for Cole Hergis and 2 for Nathan Hagel. Rebound-wise, it was Hunter Kenyon with 8 and Cole Hergis with 4. Again, 7 steals for Hunter Kenyon. He was an absolute monster out there, but unfortunately for Hunter Rappel, he did foul out, and I felt like he could have been a much bigger presence down in the paint if they had got it to him, because he was just hitting those little floaters that would drop right into the net. On the other side here for the Pine City Dragons, wow, they did a really good job here tonight of just getting it done and making sure that they come out of here with the victory. And again, with a team like this, it is, I think, easy sometimes for teams to overlook a squad just because, they're a smaller school, they're this, they're that, but Pine City did not. They got to a lull a little bit. You heard Coach Kyle Allen talk about that, but then they finally stepped up where they were able to get their offense rolling. And again, a big reason why was the offensive rebounds for their squad. And they were able to really capitalize on those second chance opportunities and they do a really good job of getting those rebounds on offense. And we've seen that improve in the last couple of games here for Pine City, them trying to crash that offensive board and grab that offensive rebound to get the second chance opportunity to try and put it back up and in for 2, and they did a good job of that here tonight. Leading the way for them was Luke Wilson, and then getting 12 points was Riley Cummings and Lamont Sidney. And as we continue to look, 6 for Isaiah Haas and Aiden Austinson. Or I missed one. Charlie Osmus, by the way, had 9 points and 3 rebounds, unofficially again. And Charlie Osmus, he just brings a great element out there. Now, as when he comes out onto the court, he is a sophomore, but I've seen him play as a freshman last year. I believe he even came in a little bit as an 8th grader, I want to say, but he's done such a good job when he comes out there. He's, again, our A&W player of the game. He is so smart. He does such a good job of knowing what the play call is and sticking to it, and also knowing how to kind of fix something on the fly if it needs to be, and doing that, but also communicating. He does a good job of that and just taking smart shots. He doesn't take a shot unless he knows he's going to make it, and that's why Charlie Osmus was our A&W player of the game. Did such a good job tonight, did Charlie Osmus. As we continue on, I mentioned 6 for Aiden Austinson and Isaiah Haas, 4 for Merrick Overtomb and Mason Charles, and then 2 for Eli Fromm, his first varsity points of his career, and then 1 for Briar Willert. That makes the final score 77-28. Rebound-wise, Isaiah Haas led the team with 10-8 for both Lamont Sidney and Riley Cummings. Steals-wise, well, they had plenty to speak of. 7 of them for Luke Wilson, 6 for Lamont Sidney, and 3 for Ashton Steele. 1 for Briar Willert, Merrick Overtomb, Jace Preston, and Eli Fromm. They each had 1. That's kind of cool to see. 4 fouls Nick Plajic ended with, but again, he had such key rebounds here in the second half. They finished with 18 fouls and 25 total steals. So the Pine City Dragons will improve to 4-5 on the year, and they will look to move on again to tomorrow. 4-5. They look to move on to tomorrow, to where they will travel up to Duluth to take on the Duluth Denfeld Hunters. That should be a fun one there for the Dragons. Then after that, they'll come back next week, and they'll play Monday, Thursday, Friday. They'll play Monday and Tuesday at home, Monday against Mille Lacs, Tuesday against Hinckley Finlayson, and then they go to Target Center next Friday to take on Maple Lake. We'll be there for that one. You can buy tickets online. Remember, you got to buy those in advance. Just click on the link on our website, and you can go there, select your tickets. Plus, you get to go see a Timberwolves game as well. So that's what's coming up here for Pine City. For Ogilvie-wise, they dropped to 2-6 and 1-3 in the conference. Next up for them, they will wait till next week, where they will play Tuesday and Thursday. They'll play Tuesday on the road up in Isle against Mille Lacs, then Thursday at home against East Central. So that is what's coming up for the Ogilvie Lions. So a couple of teams who are still going to be tough. Mille Lacs has kind of having a tough year this year. Haven't won a game yet. And a key word is yet. They could possibly grab a few here at the end of the season. But coming up for us here tomorrow, we will have more hockey action coming your way. Boys hockey, as the Pine City Boys will take on Cambridge Isani over at the Civic Center. So tune in for that one. But again, here the final in this game, the Pine City Dragons 77, the Ogilvie Lions 28. I want to thank all of you who tuned in here tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in, because without you, we don't have a reason to come out here. Thanks so much to all the fine sponsors who sponsored this broadcast. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to come out here and bring any of these games to you. So thank you so much to all of our fine sponsors who sponsored this broadcast. Don't forget to tune in to the morning shows to get your local sports updates at 7:30 and 8:30 with Rockin' Robin Riley on 95.5 FM, KBEK, and on 100.9 FM with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45. Those will be your sports updates. You can hear from this game, hear the score, and hear the final from the other games going on around the local listening area. I know the Pine City girls played tonight in Ogilvie, so make sure to tune in to the morning shows to hear the update on the scores from these games and around our local listening area. Once again, the final, Pine City 77, Ogilvie 28. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thanks to all the fine sponsors. And again, until next time, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember to be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could really make their day. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman, and have a great rest of your night.